Hey y'all, so I was reading In Search of Our Mother's Garden by Alice Walker, Womanist Prose by Alice Walker, and I was like, this is such a good passage, I have to share. It's in part 4. Only justice can stop a curse. Just because, like, it kind of pertains, and sometimes we need a little palate cleanser based on, right. Anyways, so listen with me. It's really short, really cute, very sweet. This book, so good. So good. I would recommend it. Also, I don't know that much about Alice Walker. I don't typically do deep dives into like people's lives. I don't know why, I just don't. But based off the little bit of lore that I know, I was like, girl, but I don't know that much. But I want to find out more. I want to find out more about so many people. Like I never really like look into people's lives. Like girl, I found out recently, like a couple months ago, Alicia Keys was biracial. This whole time I thought Homegirl was a light skin. You learn something new every day. Anyways, only justice can stop a curse. To the man God, O great one, I have been sorely tired by my enemies and have been blasphemed. Wait, blasphemy? Blaspheme. Why can't I say it? Blasphemy? Blasphemed. There you, okay, we're just, sorry. And have been blasphemed and lied against. My good thoughts and my honest actions have been turned to bad actions and dishonest ideas. My home had been disrespected, my children have been cursed and ill treated, my dear ones have been backbitten and their virtue questioned. O man God, I beg that I ask for my enemies shall come to pass. That the south wind shall scorch their bodies and make them wither and shall not be tempered to them. That the north wind shall freeze their blood and numb their muscles, and that it shall not be tempered to them. That the west wind shall blow against their life's breath and will not leave their hair grow, and that their fingernails shall fall off and their bones shall crumble. That the east wind shall make their minds grow dark. Their sight shall fail, and their seed dry up, so that they shall not multiply. I ask that their fathers and mothers from their furthest generation will not intercede for them before the great throne, and the wombs of their women shall not bear fruit except for strangers, and that they shall become extinct. I pray that the children who may I pray that the children who may come shall be weak of mind and paralyzed of limb, and that they themselves shall curse them into their turn for every turning the breath of life into their bodies. I pray that disease and death shall be forever with them, and that their worldly goods shall not prosper, and that their crops shall not multiply, and that their cows, their sheep, and their hogs, and all their living beasts shall die of starvation and thirst. I pray that their houses shall be unroofed, and that the rain, the thunder, and lightning shall find the innermost recesses of their home, and that the foundations shall crumble, and the floods tear it asunder. You I pray that the sun shall not shed its rays on them in benevolence, but instead it shall beat down on them and burn them and destroy them. I pray that the moon shall not give them peace, but instead shall deride them and decry them and cause their minds to shrivel. I pray that their friends shall betray them and cause them loss of power, of gold, of silver, and that their enemies shall smite them until they beg for mercy, which shall not be given them. I pray that their tongues shall forget how to speak in sweet words, and that it shall be paralyzed, and that all about them will be desolation, petulance, and death. O man God, I ask you for all these things because they have dragged me in the dust and destroyed my good name, broken my heart, and caused me to curse the day that I was born. So be it. Ooh, right? But listen, the part about the floods is really interesting to me because there's a bunch of flooding going on. Like, girl, the Sahara Desert. What? Um, but I think about climate change because not too long ago, a white calf, like a buffalo calf, was born. I don't know where. It's in America, but I don't know like the exact location. I have my notes somewhere. Girl, I got so many. I got that sound. I got so many bills, bitch. That's me with my notes. The ones that I'm currently working on tonight. This one's from Black Marxism. I just didn't want to read because it's a long. The chapter 9. We'll get there. She's a little bit long. Oh, you know what? Let's just keep going. Let's just keep going. Let's just keep going. I looked it up though. A white buffalo calf is representative of like, oh, okay, there was many different meanings. There was like the white buffalo woman, like all these things. It's really interesting. Like a spiritual revival, blah 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 blah. But also, the earth is sick. She has a fever. It's too hot, and then like floods, like that type of thing. And then this topic being only justice can stop justice. Okay, if you're connecting the, let's keep going. This is a curse dash prayer that Zora Neale Hurston collected in the 1920s, and by then it was already old. I have often marveled at it, at the perception, at the precision of its anger, the absoluteness of its bitterness, its utter hatred of the enemies it condemns. It's a curse prayer by a person who would readily, almost happily, commit suicide if it meant her enemies would also die horribly. I am sure it was a woman who first prayed this curse, and I see her, black, yellow, brown, or red, aboriginal as the ancients are called in South Africa and Australia and other lands, invaded, expropriated, and occupied by whites. And I think with astonishment that the curse prayer of this colored woman, starved, enslaved, humiliated, and carelessly trampled to death over centuries, is coming to pass. Indeed, like ancient peoples of color the world over, who have tried to tell the white man of the destruction that would inevitably follow from the uranium mining plunder of their sacred lands, this woman, along with millions and billions of obliterated sisters, brothers, and children, seem to have put such enormous energy into her hope for revenge that her curse seems close to bringing it about. And it is this hope for revenge, finally, I think, that is at the heart of many people of color's resistance to the present anti-nuclear movement. This was written 1982. In any case, this has been my own problem. When I have considered the enormity of the white man's crimes against humanity, against women, against every living person of color, against the poor, against my mother and my father, against me, when I consider that at this very moment he wishes to take away what little freedom I have died to achieve through denial of my right to vote, has already taken away education, medicine, housing, and food, that William Shockley is saying at this moment that he will run for the Senate of my country to push his theory that blacks are genetically inferior and should be sterilized. When I consider that they are a real and present threat to my life and the life of my daughter, my people, I think in perfect harmony with my sisters of long ago. Let the earth marinate in poisons. Let the bombs cover the ground like rain, for nothing short of total destruction will ever teach them anything. She ate with that one. And it would be good, perhaps, to put an end to the species in any case, rather than let white men continue to subjugate it, and continue their lust to dominate, exploit, and despoil not just our planet, but the rest of the universe, which is their clear and oft-stated intention, leaving their arrogance and litter not just on the moon, but on everything else they can reach. If we can have any true love for the stars, planets, and the rest of creation, we must do everything we can to keep white men away from them. They who have appointed themselves our representatives to the rest of the universe, they who have never met any new creature without exploiting, abusing, or destroying it, they who say we poor white included, and colored and female and elderly blight neighborhoods while they blight worlds. They have, what they have done in the old, they will do to the new. Under the white man, every star would become a South Africa, every planet a Vietnam. Finally, eradicating ourselves may, in fact, be the only way to save others from what Earth has already become. And this is a consideration that I believe requires serious thought from every one of us. However, just as the sun shines on the godly and the ungodly alike, so does nuclear radiation. And then think about, okay, pause, but think about that in connection to the thousands of bombs being dropped onto Palestine and how that's going to affect our climate. Or the mining, how that's going to affect the climate. Or the manufacturing, or the pouring of what? What did Tyson pour into the water? Okay, where were we at? Okay, so does nuclear radiation. And with this knowledge, it becomes increasingly difficult to embrace the thought of extinction purely for the assumed satisfaction of, from the grave, achieving revenge, or even of accepting our demise as a planet as a simple and just preventative medicine administered to the universe. Life is better than death, I believe, if only because it is less boring and because it has fresh peaches in it. In any case, Earth is my home, though for centuries white people have tried to convince me I have no right to exist, except in the darkest corners of the globe. So let me tell you, I intend to protect my home, praying, not a curse, only the hope that my courage will not fail my love. But if by some miracle and all our struggle, the earth is spared, only justice to every living thing and everything is alive will save humankind. And we are not saved yet. Only justice can stop a curse. Dang, she ate that up, didn't she? She did. Where'd my highlighter go? Hello? Where'd she go? Okay, we're gonna get another highlighter color. Oh, that was good though. That was really good. Only justice can stop a curse. Anyways, that was really good. Thanks for sitting with me and reading along. I highly recommend this book. I got this off of thriftbooks.com. Okay. Good night, y'all.